I think this ban from Apple is actually going to work out better for us traders in the Forex market. And I'm going to tell you exactly why. We are going deeper into the rabbit hole on exactly what happened to MT4 and MT5 this week with the Apple ban. And it's pretty crazy. And I do want to give a shout out to Swaggy. He's the one that actually put me up on game on this whole thing that you're about to see in this video. And it's pretty insane because I do think that this is the reason why Apple removed MT4 and MT5 from the App Store, and on top of that, why regulated brokers are moving from MT5. There is something that has to do with a plugin that MetaTrader uses, which I'm going to show you in a bit. I did a little bit of detective work myself, and I found an article from 2011 that gives a lot more information on exactly what these brokers have been doing and what scammers have been doing. Okay guys, so let's go ahead and jump directly in today's video. Also, if you're not subscribed already, make sure you do so right now, because I'm going to constantly bring you updates on this matter, and I have a whole mess of videos dropping about Forex indicators, bots, and all that good stuff, so make sure you stay tuned. So this is the actual article that Swaggy went over on his video. I'm not going to go ahead and read the whole article, but I do want to show you some key points. I will drop the link in the description just in case you want to read it yourself. But basically, the biggest takeaways from this actual article is there is no link to Western sanctions on Russia. It says we do not believe that Apple's actions are linked in any way with the Western sanctions on Russia, right? A MetaQuote's representative said. Now, keep in mind that this means that Apple did not actually give them a real reason, right? Another great takeaway on this specific article is Apple is now providing some assurance that customers who have already downloaded the apps will not be affected. That means that us that have MT4 and MT5 downloaded, it's not going to affect us. However, remember the fact that MT5 was removed from a lot of regulated brokers behind the scenes, which I'm actually going to go over the reason why in just a second. The other article that Swaggy actually went over is this one right here, and basically it's somebody that lost over $1.2 million in a scam. Obviously you can see this is pretty recent, and there is a few points in this article that are very, very important. It has to basically do with what MetaTrader has allowed to happen in this space. All right, and I'm gonna play you just 5 seconds of this specific video right here, and let's go ahead and play that.
Careful. I start with 5,000, 10,000, just to see how it is.
CY sent money from his bank to a legitimate crypto trading site. The funds eventually went to a platform Jessica sent him to make the trades. It appeared legitimate at first, but was actually fake.
So basically what ended up happening was this person right here was actually scammed out of $1.2 million. They were told to put money in Coinbase. They did that. And then they were told to fund a brokerage account and they would actually do the trading for them, which obviously already sounds like a scam. You should have never fallen for this. Right here, you can actually see where this guy sent his money from a legitimate bank to a crypto trading site, and the funds were eventually sent to a platform that Jessica sent him to make the trades. While the app that she appeared to send was a legitimate, she lied the hard way that it wasn't. It looked so real, so legitimate. I had no reason to doubt that this was fake, he said. So now let's get to the good stuff, all right? And here's where MetaTrader actually comes in. Now we're actually on the Forbes website, which I will go ahead and link in the description as well. And as you guys can see right here, I ended up searching for the word MetaTrader, and it actually comes up 13 times in this article. Keep in mind that somebody was scammed for over $1.2 million, and they are blaming pretty much MetaTrader, which is the crazy thing. Apple actually has something to say about this as well, and this is where things get crazy, right? So immediately, if you're getting scammed and you're like, hey, it's in the App Store, the scammer is sending them over to the Apple App Store. The person who's getting scammed is immediately thinking, hey, this must be legit because it's in the Apple App Store. And this is exactly the reason why Apple ended up removing it from the App Store. Now, the crazy thing is, it's not anything to do with MetaTrader. This actually has something to do with a specific plugin that allows the scam artist to manipulate what the actual person is seeing. So what ended up happening was this person, Jessica, has been using something that MetaTrader allows. MetaTrader, which obviously does enable legitimate trade by actual brokerages, right? MetaTrader also allows licenses to use a particular plugin known as virtual dealer, which can be used by scammers to manipulate those market prices and simulate account balances, profit or losses. Everything looks and feels real, but it's all fabricated. So essentially, they were sending this guy to a B-book broker and manipulating the markets to make it look like this gentleman had won or made a lot of money in the markets, which actually turned out to be on a B-book. So what this comes down to is this plugin right here. And this is another very, very, very important part. This article came out days before the actual suspension, and check this out. Apple spokesperson Adam Demma told Forbes that the company is investigating complaints about MetaTrader and will take additional action to protect the App Store users if necessary. So this article came out before it was actually removed, and now it's officially removed. Seems like they're doing more due diligence into MetaTrader. Now, MetaTrader can do one solid thing here. It can remove this plugin. Now, you're probably asking yourself, what the hell does this plugin do? And this is from 2011, right? And this is where I actually did some detective work right here. Basically, this person right here was looking for a broker / dealer that uses MT4 that honestly can guarantee that they don't use the virtual plugin. Keep in mind that this article came out in 2011, around the same time, actually, July 25th, around almost the same time in 2011, talking about this virtual dealer plugin, which honestly, I didn't even have any real insight on what this plugin does, but you know how we all talk about B-book brokers? They're using this plugin. Let's go ahead and go down this article, right, and find out exactly what this virtual plugin is actually doing. And this is where it gets really crazy, and this is why we have to do our due diligence on a lot of these brokers. Now, do we know if these brokers are really using this? No. Now, this is where I think also Forex will be helped out if MetaTrader is forced to remove this plugin from a lot of the brokerages, right? So keep in mind that MetaQuotes is not actually using the plugin. It's a plugin for MetaQuotes, a software. So this plugin is the reason why Apple removed it, because these brokerages are actually able to do all of this. Slow server command. When a customer is engaged in a profitable trading activity, the defendant, in this case the actual broker, routes the customer's account to a slower server, causing the execution to be slowed down, allowing the broker the time to hijack any potential profit in a trade by buying and selling in between the customer's order in the real market, taking any profit and leaving the customer victimized with no money for his or her efforts. In other words, you're entering a trade, but they slow down the server so you're not executing on time, and they're basically just snipping away your pips, right? Because imagine if you're 10 pips in drawdown already, right? They actually just pocketed those 10 pips essentially, right? Now, do all brokerages do this? Maybe, maybe not, right? But we'll never know until they remove this plugin. And this is why I say this is very, very important. False error messages, flash trades, arbitrary margins, abuse of slippage, slow fill, and no fill commands. Now, I'm also gonna go ahead and list these below, but essentially all this means is that these brokerages are using this plugin and they're able to go ahead and put you in an A book or B book. And the craziest thing about this is that most people associate B book to having a bad trade, right? So if you're a bad trader or you're a losing trader, the B book essentially is when you deposit into your brokerage, right? But they are not actually putting that money into the market. Instead, they're just hoping that you tank it, lose it, and they just pocket it, everything. They're not making money off of the spread. The crazy thing is that not only are they trying to do this on bad traders, but if you're actually a good trader, they may be manipulating you so that way you are not catching as many pips, they're catching pips with you. So this is where it gets really, really crazy. This person right here, and keep in mind, this is from 2011. So only imagine what this software can do now. They say, I have no doubt that MT5 has an extended version of VPD and more options for brokers. This is the real reason why these regulated brokers, I guess, were almost forced to remove MT5 already, because the MT5 version of the VDP has more features than the MT4 version. So keep in mind that if you just have this plugin and you're a legitimate broker, you could still be using this plugin to manipulate the markets against your own clients, which would obviously be against the regulatory of the United States and regulations of the actual broker. VDP is the reason why MT4 and MT5 were removed from the App Store, and the reason why MT5 has been removed from a lot of these regulated brokers. So what can happen in the future? MetaQuote is probably losing millions of dollars. These brokerages who have people using Apple, they're probably losing millions of dollars. So the only thing here is for MetaTrader to do is remove this VDP plugin. Now, can they do that? I hope so, because if they do, not only will they be saving us traders, but they would probably be saving themselves. So tell me what you guys think. I think that this is very exciting news. I think that this is actually gonna help out the Forex market, and I'm curious to know exactly what you guys are thinking. Go ahead and drop a comment down below. Make sure you subscribe. And that's all for today's video. Hopefully we have another update soon. Peace.